Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you the basic settings. I was explaining basic settings in part 2, but that was not the full explanation, so I'm going to explain the remaining today. So let's go to the settings and basics. And if you haven't watched my part 1 and part 2, please do go and check that out, so it will be really useful for you. And please do hit the subscribe button, because this is going to be a series of video. So also click the bell icon so you don't want to miss any of my future videos. Okay, so there are some extra switches in MP mode, which is where is it? Here it is. Fast throw grenade, which is extra in MP mode, but in BR mode we have two switches, which is auto loot and auto open doors. I use auto loot because which helps me to loot quickly, but in PUBG I was not using auto loot, but here I am playing auto loot because I am not a big fan of BR in this game, but maybe in future I'll be playing BR a lot. So let's keep that aside. And why I have turned auto open door, it used to be here, so we are in we are in training ground, so it is not available. BR settings is not available in here. So this is the position of those two switches. Here it will be auto loot, and here it will be auto open doors. So I have turned auto open door off, and I have turned on sorry I have turned on auto loot. I have turned on auto loot. So those two switches were extra in BR mode, and this switch is extra in MP mode. That's all on the topic 1.1 basics. So let's go to 1.2 basics. So for ADS, there are four options, which is tap and hold to ADS, tap to ADS, hybrid ADS, double tap to ADS. These are all the options for ADS. So let me tell you what does tap and hold does. So if I tap this scope button, see what happens. It doesn't even open fully. Can you see? It doesn't even open fully because I have turned tap and hold for ADS. So if I tap and hold, I can open scope. If I tap and release, if I just tap, my scope doesn't open. It tries to open, but it doesn't open. But if I tap and hold, it stays there. It stays open. So I like to play this way. So some people might play with tap. I play with tap and hold. It is just basically it is just personal preferences. So the next option is tap to ADS. If we turn this on, if I tap the scope button, it's open now. I have to tap it again. I have to tap that X mark again to close it. So this is how it works. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, not tap, tap. Tap, tap is another option. So this is tap and tap. So the next thing is hybrid ADS. So what does this do? Even if you tap, the scope stays open. Even if you tap and hold, the scope stays open. And if you tap and hold and then leave it, it comes back to normal. So this option was there in PUBG Mobile also, which is named as mixed. This option is a mixed option. Even if you tap, it stays open, and if you tap again, it closes, and if you tap and hold, it stays open, and if you release the finger, it closes. So that is the option that is the function of hybrid ADS. So let's go to double tap ADS. So what does this do? So if I tap on the scope, can you see there is no scope button over there. There is no scope button. So So if I double tap, I open. If I double tap, I close. If I double tap, the scope is open. If I double tap, the scope is closed. I have to double tap on the screen, anywhere on the screen. No, it doesn't work on the left side of the screen. This part doesn't have access for this scope. So if you tap on the right side of the screen, anywhere on the right side of the screen, you're going to open the scope. And if you double tap again, you're going to close the scope. So this will be more useful when you are playing in using thumb. If you're playing with thumb, it will be useful for you, but for me it is not really useful. So I'm going back to normal, which is tap and hold to ADS, which I like the most. So the next thing is display left side fire button. So I have turned this on, and if you want you can turn this off. Actually, there was a confusion for you guys on my part 2, because I was playing with two different buttons. I was playing with left fire button and right fire button, where right fire button is a fixed button, left fire button is a movable button. Not a movable button, you can change the aim with tap and drag. Okay, so what I basically do is right now I have changed the things for you to explain so how things work. So right now, if you are not comfortable with those with the layout that I showed you previously, you can try this layout. I'm going to keep the scope here, and I have moved the move this right fire button to the top left corner, where I was having the left fire button previously. So what I have to do is I have to tap and hold this scope button, and I have to I have to hold this fire button, so I can spray with ADS. If I don't tap this, and if I tap only this, tap and hold only this, I'm going to do hip fire. So that is how things work. So you can play like this also. This is an option. So if you don't want that left side fire button, if you don't have any purpose, you can just turn it off. That's it. So for now I'm going to turn this off. So I'm going to practice, and I have to train my muscle memory to get adapted to this, because this is more convenient than my previous layout, but I have to practice it. So let me practice for now. So the next thing is display left side fire button is off. So next thing is slide while running. Tap crouch while sprinting. So if I tap crouch, I'll be sliding. While sprinting, if I tap crouch, I'll be sliding. And if I'm not sprinting, if I tap crouch, I'll be sitting. The next thing is hold crouch while sprinting. So I'll explain this to you. I'm going to tap this while I'm sprinting. I'm just going to tap, not hold. I'm not going to long press. I'm just going to hold. I'm just going to tap. This is my crouch button. So I'm sprinting, and I'm just tapping the crouch button, and I'm sliding. So if I use this one, I'm going to sprint again, and I'm going to tap the crouch button now, but I'm crouching, I'm not sliding. Have you noticed that? So if I'm sprinting and if I'm holding the crouch button, I'm going to slide. If I'm holding the crouch button, I'm going to slide. But there is a fraction of second delay in that, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to use tap to crouch while sprinting. So this is the best option for you and for anyone out there. But if you're playing thumb, it may vary. But I haven't played thumb for more than 2 years, so that is not convenient for me. So next thing is always sprint. So you can turn this on. See what happens if I turn this off. I'm going to turn this off. So I'm just moving. See how slowly am I moving. If I drag, I'm running. so it will not be visible with this gun. Let me change the layout and show to you. So I'm just moving, I'm not running, am I right? But if I drag it really hard, I'm running. So see, let's see what happens if I tap this. Always sprint. So I'm just dragging a little bit, but I'm running. So this is more convenient for you, because if you just drag a little bit, you're going to run. You're not going to walk, you're going to run. So it will be helpful for you guys to slide off, and it will be helpful for you guys to be more quick in certain cases. So it will be helpful for you. So the next thing is, I'm going to, and there is also the sensitivity here. If you reduce this all the way to 0, no, why am I not allowed to do this? Okay, so if I just turn this off, I can reduce or increase the sensitivity. But if I'm just tapping this, I'm not able to change the sensitivity. So if you change this and if you reduce to 0, see what happens. I'm just dragging all the way long. You know, I have to drag really hard for this to make my avatar run. So which is really a bad thing. So if you turn this all the way to 100, see what happens. So I'm just dragging a little bit and he starts running. So it basically works like always sprint. If you turn this to 100 all the way to 100, so it is going to work like always sprint, but always sprint checkbox. So I'm just going to leave this turned on. So the next thing is gyroscope. I have to use this always on. I advise you guys to play with gyroscope if you are playing in mobile, but if you are playing in iPad, I don't know how you are going to play with gyroscope, but you'll be having more space on the screen to swipe, and it will be really good if you are having finger sleeves. And if you want one, you can buy this finger sleeve from the Instagram account I have mentioned below. So go and check in the description for thumb sleeves. So the next thing is gyroscope on and while ADS and off. So if this is on, see, let me tell you what happens. I'm not touching the screen, I'm just moving my phone. See, I'm just moving my phone, but my crosshair changes, my aim changes. But if I turn this to while ADS, if I take this while ADS checkbox, see what happens. I'm actually shaking my phone, but there is no movement on the screen. So what does that mean? Basically, if you take this on, only if you open the scope, and if you shake the screen, the aim will be shaking. And if you are not opening the scope, your aim will be stable. So some play with this, some play with this kind of option, but I don't. I play always on. Even in PUBG and here also I play always on. And if you are playing with off, mostly you will be an iPad player. I'm not an iPad player, I play with my iPhone. So there is also two switches here, invert horizontal gyroscope and invert vertical gyroscope. Gyroscope, how does this invert work? Let me tell that to you. So I have to turn this on for this. So let me show you what happens now. So right now I'm going to turn my phone downwards towards the floor. So my aim goes towards the floor. So if I turn this switch on, see what, this is horizontal, sorry, this is going to be the vertical gyroscope. If I turn this switch on, see what happens. If I'm going to I'm going to move my phone towards the floor, but my aim goes towards the sky. So this is the function of that switch. This is the function. I don't like this function. This is totally you know, not necessary, but for some of you guys, you know, there is option, there's this kind of option in you know, mouses. For some of you guys, they may play inverted, they may play with inverted in, you know, PC games, but I don't know how this works in mobile. So I'm going to turn these things off. I feel this is completely useless, but even though Call of Duty has provided this, that's really so sweet of you, Call of Duty. So the next thing is camera FOV range, first person only. So I have to do a little bit of experiment on this by myself. So let's see what happens. I'm going to you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this square fit inside my screen right now. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move. Maybe my screen may shake. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this off for now. I'm going to turn the gyroscope off, and I'm going to you know, align this inside the screen. So you can see what happens. This square is inside my screen. This square is inside my screen. So let's see what happens if I change this. I'm turning this down, all the way down to 51. Let's see what happens. Can you see, can you able to see what happened here? This box is not visible for me anymore. See this, sorry, this box, there was a frame inside this. This is not visible to me anymore. I can't see the right and left pillars. This pillar and this pillar anymore. I can't see it because I have reduced the camera FOV range. If I increase this, you can see clearly. I'm able to see this and this corner of the, you know, opening. So this is what happens when you do this, and it is going to greatly affect your sensitivity. You know, it is also greatly going to affect your sensitivity. Sorry, I have to turn the gyroscope on because without gyro I play like a noob, and even with gyro sometimes I play like a noob. That doesn't matter. So that's all the settings on basics. That's all. So I'm going to change this, reduce this a little bit, and see is there any change on my sensitivity. Yeah, I feel a little bit of confusion. There's a little bit of confusion, but if you change this, let's have a closer view. Okay, let's have a closer view now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this all the way down to 51. Right now I can see the enemies more clearly. I can see the enemies more clearly. It looks really close to me. What the fuck? The bullet spread is too high. I think it's...
Let's go this way.
It's just 6 meters away from me. And if I do hit fire... What? Seriously, bro? Let me check with DRH. This is also a shit. You know, it's better to play with shotguns if you're doing hip fire a lot. So let's leave this aside. This is the topic for today, and this is how every basic settings should be evaluated, and you have to make changes according to your gameplay. So let me turn this all the way to 75. So I have a wider view. This, you know, this is like an wide angle lens, works like an wide angle lens to you. So I like to play with wide angle. So my sensitivity is also fixed to wide angle. So if you change this, you are going to affect your sensitivity. Keep this in mind. Okay, you are going to affect your sensitivity. The next thing is audio and graphics. So this is going to be part 4, and please do hit the like button if your time is not wasted, and please do click the bell icon and subscribe button so you will not miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching. Please do stay safe and healthy. Take care of your family. Bye bye.